Hello everyone, it is the day after Boxing Day. I've got my fourth in a row Christmas dinner in the microwave that I'm having for lunch. We're having a really relaxed time. It's been absolutely lovely. It's been delightful. Obviously, apart from the downsides of what we haven't been able to do, just being able to spend a load of time with the family and not feel pressured to be doing other things is an absolute treat. I've spent a crazy amount of time playing board games with my children, particularly my boys. We've been given lots of new board games for Christmas, so we've been playing all of those and just enjoying being at home. It's it's nice to take the time out to do that sometimes. Those of you who follow along will know that we cook our Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve. So we had our Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve, and usually we have around 20 people here. And for me personally, it really is the highlight of Christmas, because quite some time ago, years ago, probably getting on for 10 years ago, we made the decision that we were going to do our Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve. And that meant that I could have my close friends and family on Christmas Eve, and then we would go to my wife's family on Christmas Day. And that's something we've kept up with for all that time. And of course, this year we couldn't have anyone because for our Christmas dinner, we were on the Christmas Eve day and no one was allowed to visit other households. So it was just our family, and it was lovely. It was a cracking dinner. We really enjoyed it, but it definitely had a hole. It was, a much different experience. So we normally set up the front room with a huge long table and have a fire going, and my wife and I decided, well, it wasn't really worth lighting the fire because we weren't having people to entertain. We were just going to go down there to eat, and it was, we're a bit mean, so we didn't put the central heating on either, and it was just different. And I'm sure that all of you guys are experiencing similar things with your Christmas. So I hope you've had a good Christmas. I hope you've really enjoyed it. I know that we have. We're looking forward now into the new year. We've got some exciting things coming up. So tomorrow I'm finally going to slaughter our pig and butcher our pig. So that's happening tomorrow. Now I'm going to film a lot of that process, but I don't want to offend anyone, so it's not going to go out on the channel. So if you're a vegan and you don't want to see things like that, please don't worry, it's not going to show up on the feed. If the main reason I'm mentioning that is because if you do want to see that content, what's going to happen as soon as I've filmed it and edited it, I'm going to make that available firstly to my patrons on Patreon, and then after that, a few days after that, I will post a link on our Facebook page, on our Facebook site, rather, our Facebook group. I'm not good with the whole terminology on Facebook. I'm not a Facebook guy. But on our Facebook group will be a link to the YouTube video that won't be public. So if you are interested in that and you do want to see that, that's how you'll get to see that. And it means that people who don't want to see it aren't going to have it just show up in their feed unwanted. And the other thing that I really wanted to talk to you about is next year. I've got some really exciting ideas for some challenges that I want to do next year, and I want your guys' input. I want you to tell me how I should sort of frame them, because there's a lot of ideas bouncing around in my head, but I want to do some things like I want to go a month where all I eat is things that I grow here or produce here. So I want some ideas on how I can structure that, because I'm thinking for a month, if I allow myself a budget of say £20 for buying things outside of what I can produce here, I'm thinking things like flour, coffee, I'm thinking that might be a suitable challenge. Or maybe I say I'm allowed to spend the money that we make from selling eggs minus the cost of animal feed. Something like that. Well, that might be a bit easy because we make a bit more money from eggs than I might need. So, what are your thoughts? What are your ideas on that? I've also got some other ideas for challenges. Things like not using mains water for a day or 2 days or a week or whatever, and making all my own water, filtering it from local water sources, capturing rainwater, that kind of thing. I'm also thinking of doing a zombie apocalypse challenge where I might go a week with only things that are being produced in our garden, or that I can hunt or forage or somehow procure outside of any outside network, so without using shops, without using mains electricity even, and that the time limit for a challenge like that, I don't know, a week, a day, what's right? So let me know your ideas. Let me know ideas on what sort of things that might make a good challenge. Let me know if you're interested in taking part as well. I'll be posting updates all through. These are going to be done throughout the year, so I'm thinking like September, October might be a good time to do a month, because that's when we're going to be harvesting more. Hopefully I'll be able to get some honey from my bees, things like that. So these are all ideas for 2021 that I've got. So let me know your thoughts, please, in the comments, and stay in touch. We've had a hell of a lot of rain, not only for the last few weeks and month, but just in the last 24 hours. I'm not sure how well you can see there, but that's the river Brew, which is significantly higher than usual. And we've had our messages from the Environment Agency, the flood watch messages, to say that the river levels are getting very high and there's a potential that it will burst its banks. So that's something we're keeping an eye on. It's not as bad as it was a few months ago when I posted the flood watch video, but it's moving in that direction. We'll have to wait and see. As you can see, it's lunchtime now and I'm still in my dressing gown and my daddy reindeer pajamas. And for me, that's what this period between Christmas Day and Boxing Day is all about. It's the time of year to really recharge your batteries. We haven't actually been away on a holiday for a little while, but even when we go on holiday, I feel you come back and you're not particularly rested. This is the time, I think, that is best for families and parents to get that sort of break if you can. It's not always easy, particularly if your children are young. I know my wife might disagree with me slightly on how much she's having to work, because there's still a lot of things I can't do outside. But, you know, this period is a great bit of downtime for everybody to sit and just chill out for a bit. And I'm certainly making the most of that. Also had amazing Christmas presents. I've been given a polytunnel, some fantastic books, and this amazing press that I was given from my father-in-law, which I'll show you on a future video, that I'm going to be able to use to press our fruit. Things like grapes for sure, but also pears to get pear juice, all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking I'm going to be able to adapt my cheese making process to use it to make hard cheese as well. So that was an amazing present I'm super happy with. But other than that, it's just a case of enjoying the time that we have when we don't feel any societal pressure to be at work or to be doing things. You know, right now we're expected to stay at home, particularly because we've been moved up from zone 2 to zone 3. We're in Somerset, so we've been moved into what was recently the highest tier of lockdown, but they've since, over the Christmas period, introduced an even higher tier, tier 4. So we're just down from tier 4, which is what they've got in London and places like that, and that's been from Boxing Day. But as always, I'm not complaining. We're very, very lucky where we live and how we live. The lockdowns hardly affect us. So anyway, that's where we are. I will repeat, I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas, and I hope you're all looking forward to a great new year. And I will speak to you guys very, very soon.